Welcome to Tambayan sa Seminaryo Podcast Network. We are a community of religious individuals wanting to share their spirits in prayer, in the church's doctrines, and in solidarity with everyone who aims to guide the faithful and bring more to the house of the Lord. Good day, everyone. Today, we are ending another month-long celebration for our annual Flores de Mayo. But to me, there is something that has to be taken away from all the learnings, from all the doctrines introduced as part of our series. But it's more than just learning the faith. Flores de Mayo is an opportunity to every Catholic to know what it means to live as a Christian. But how is it possible? Is it something that has to do more with rituals, with the liturgies, with doing everything that is prescribed by the church or being recommended by the Bible? Saint Therese of Lisieux has a very nice reflection on Christian life. She said that you can do great things, but you can also do little things with great love. To me personally, that resonates a very insightful Christian life. The Lord doesn't actually ask us to be very profound with our practice, with our methods of displaying our faith. Rather, He wants us to do everything we can do, the grace that He has given us, to our everything, to our actions, to our thoughts, to our words, even the simplest form of goodness. But it has to be done out of love. My dear friends, that resonates more about being a Christian than just being someone who is active in church. Being a Christian is to be good because our vocation as children of God through our baptism is to be good. That is our general, that is our universal vocation. But goodness alone is not stale. Goodness is a lot more insightful, a lot more surrounded by the notions, and the spirit of being good is more about love. As long as we do the best to practice our faith, to hold on to our hope, and to be more charitable, is to do things out of love. You are currently listening to Tambayan sa Seminaryo Podcast Network. For collaborations and inquiries, you may send us an email at semitambayanblogs@hotmail.com. Please do support our community by sharing this podcast, as well as supporting our social media channels. So, for this culmination, since we have all tackled more about our doctrines, our practice, the teachings of the church, let us now divert our attention towards ourselves. What is living a simple Christian life? How does the simplicity translate to love, translates to God, translates to be the children we ought to be because we are all called to be by God? That is the message of our Lord. He wants us to center our life to love. He wants us to be very childlike because the children of God are the peacemakers. It doesn't have to be childish. It doesn't have to be ignorant. It only has to be innocent. It has to be direct. But all of those has to be enveloped in love. This is what makes all our saints, all the holy men and women who followed Christ have done in their lives without even having to become flamboyant to exaggerate their practices, their rituals, their notions of the church. All it takes is to be a child who is very much attentive to God. This is what Flores de Mayo is all about. We are teaching children to be a child of God, living a simple, insightful, innocent life, but being able to love as well, with a more profound outlook towards the divine. This is what makes children a very good example of how one becomes a more God centered Christian, which is our mission here on earth. You are currently listening to Tambayan's Seminaryo Podcast Network. For collaborations and inquiries, you may send us an email at semitambayanblogs@hotmail.com. Please do support our community by sharing this podcast, as well as supporting our social media channels. For our culmination activity, I really personally hope that everyone looks toward the inner child in themselves. Look back at the innocence that they have uphold growing up with everything that we have practiced as a church. This is what makes a Christian a more gracious individual and someone who is a catalyst of peace, of love, of mercy, of compassion, which is actually what our Holy Father also promotes. So, for today, my dear brothers and sisters, I hope everyone has a good time following our virtual teachings, our virtual sessions, our podcast, our content, our media that we post online through our channels. And I really pray to God that He will bless you all throughout the year. And thank you so much for being with us in this month-long celebration. Happy Flores de Mayo and stay truthful, more innocent, and more inclined to love. Thank you for listening to Tambayan sa Seminaryo Podcast Network. Feel free to share this podcast with your family, friends, and to every faithful you know. We hope that you join us again on our future podcast episodes, and may God bless us all.